right, Sports Talker Nation, welcome back once again. It's your host, the G-Man, and we switch gears a little bit from our NFL coverage. Today, we're going to talk about yet another upcoming draft. It is NBA draft season. I have to admit, I'm very excited with the NBA draft, mostly because my beloved Sixers, pick first. But in general, I love the NBA draft. I like drafts in general. I think it's nice to look forward to the future. I guess I'm a glass half full kind of a guy. But without further ado, let's go through today. I'm going to talk about the top 10 overall prospects. This is regardless of position, though I will mention the position. Number 10, Diamond Stone from Maryland. Diamond Stone is a freshman who came out. Didn't have huge numbers, but he was a huge force. He's a really big kid. He has nice soft touch. He actually shoots free throws very well for a big guy. I think he's going to grow into a very good player like Joakim Noah with a jump shot. Number 9, Jacob Podol, a true big. He's big, he's slow-footed, but on the low block, I think he'll do a great job. He reminds me of Jahlil Okafor. He's out of Utah. I think he's going to have a nice long career. He's going to be a little bit of a trouble defensively, but offensively he can do whatever he wants on the low block. Number 8, Domantas Sabonis from Gonzaga. Now, you remember the last name, Sabonis? Arturas Sabonis was a hell of a player for a long time internationally and then came over when he was already an old, broken-down man with bad knees and was still a hell of a player in the NBA. His son is not quite the player nor the type of player that he was. Doesn't have the jump shot, but he's a big kid, strong hands, very good passer. I think he'll be a real force in this league for a long time. I don't know if he'll be a star. Number 7, Yogi Ferrell from Indiana. Everyone's afraid of this kid because he is small, not just, that he's only about 6 foot, but he's also slight of frame. He has nonstop energy. Quickness is amazing, good quick hands, great ball handler, and he developed a three-point shot. I think he can be a long-term answer for somebody running the point for them. Number 6, we have Brandon Ingram. Yes, I know everyone else thinks he should be in the top 2. I don't see it. I understand he's a long kid and he had a decent jump shot. 41% in college is not all that impressive to me from three-point land. I think he can't do anything else right now. He's not big enough. He's going to get manhandled in the pros. But he does have a chance if he keeps that shot of his. He develops a little defensive consistency, maybe a little better handle. He becomes a 2 or 3 in the league. Number 4, and this is going way out on a limb, but I love what I saw and I watched a lot of their games, and that's Demetrius Jackson from Notre Dame. Stole a game in the tournament by himself. I think he's Jerian Grant 2.0, and I think he's better than Jerian Grant was last year, who went in the top 15. He's not a big kid. He can jump out of the building. He's a good jump shooter, though this past year he became one of the offensive focal points, so he wasn't as proficient from 3. But I think as a main ball handler and a guy who's going to be a secondary shooter, I think he's a hell of a player. I would love for the Sixers to get him late in the draft if he falls as far as people seem to think. Number 3, now these were to the guys where everyone's heard of and everybody loves. Buddy Hield from Oklahoma, sort of a one-dimensional player, but he got better every year of his career. He developed a shot. When he was a freshman, he couldn't shoot at all. He shot 1,000 shots a day. Everybody knows the stories. He is now proficient both catch and shoot and off the dribble. He's a decent defensive player. He has no ability to handle the ball, so you're really just getting a spot-up shooter, but he is an excellent spot-up shooter, probably the second best shooter in this draft. So I would take him top 3 if you have a need specifically for a shooter. In today's NBA, everybody needs a shooter. Number 2, and I don't hear people talking about him as the number 2 overall prospect, but he may wind up being the best prospect in this draft, and that's Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray out of Kentucky, everybody's numbers are depressed at Kentucky because they have so many players and they rotate guys in and out. Murray's were not. Murray put up tremendous numbers. And, previously he actually ran the point for some under 21 teams, and he did that well. He's got size. He can shoot. He can take it to the basket. I love Jamal Murray's game. If somehow the Sixers can get into the top 5 and he slips to 5 or 6, I will be ecstatic. I'll be doing a jig down the street. So I love Jamal Murray. And the number 1 prospect, and please let somebody from the Sixers listen to this, is Ben Simmons. And I don't even think it's close. I was talking to a buddy of mine and I said, do you ever have one of those situations where you are so confident in something you literally can't see anybody else's perspective on it? That's how I feel about Simmons. Living in Philadelphia, I hear people all the time making the case for why you take Brandon Ingram first. I just don't see it. Ingram is a shooter. Ben Simmons reminds me of LeBron James when he came out into the NBA. Now, He's not as big. LeBron obviously is an all-time player, though he chokes in the big game, and no one should ever mention him again, along with Michael Jordan. But he's transcendent, and I think Ben Simmons is the same way. You just don't get guys that are that big with that vision, that ability to initiate offense. He doesn't have to shoot as much from the outside, though I think his outside shot will improve. It's not broken. It's not a broken shot. It's just an untested shot because he's always been able to get wherever he wants on the court. People complained it was a lackluster year for him. In the SEC, he averaged 20 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 assists as a freshman. He is a special player. I think he is far and away the best prospect in this draft. So there's my top 10 guys. Hope everyone enjoys. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of point guards, bigs, and wings because I think the NBA is no longer a traditional 5-position sport. I think I got to break it down a different way. But look for those. Look for my NBA Draft Spectacular, similar to my NFL Draft Spectacular, which will be coming out in writing on the post as well. Look for some blogs we have coming up. But I really look forward to the NBA Draft and hope the Sixers do the right thing. For me, your host, the G-Man, and I am out.